been Liberal since Sinead O'Connor's Nothing Compares to You was top of the chart. Nothing compares to you.
And for the voters of Aston in Melbourne's leafy eastern suburbs, nothing did compare, delivering a shock Labor victory in Alan Tudge's previously rock-solid blue ribbon seat.
What we were trying to do hadn't been done for 100 years.
It's extraordinary stuff.
Not a single occasion has the government won a seat from the opposition.
The historic loss adding to the Liberals' woes as the city, the state, the country turns red. The opposition leader seemingly baffled by what went wrong.
I'm just asking why.
Well, this is what we need to assess, and we need to understand
You don't know?
And how to fix it.
Well, if you're asking me about the fundamentals of our party, they're not going to change.
Questions now about Peter Dutton's leadership, thanks to himself.
It'll be a verdict on the leaders, no question about that.
By not winning the election, we've failed that test. I accept responsibility, and I'm the leader of the party.
The Liberal brand in tatters.
Is the Liberal brand in Victoria toxic?
I wouldn't use the word toxic.
What word would you use?
I think... I don't know. I'm lost for words, to be honest.
The Liberal Party are a nasty, bigoted outfit, and people have worked them out. And that might be why they keep losing.
What we've seen from the opposition is this strategy of opposing everything, everywhere, all at once. And last night, it blew up in their faces.
So is this rock bottom for the Libs? And is Peter Dutton the man to turn it around?
Should you stay as leader?
Of course I should, and I can tell you it makes me more determined to rebuild this party.
Australians said no to him, and the people of Aston said no to him.
It'll get worse before it gets worse.
Well, joining us now is Guardian reporter Amy Remeikis. Amy, where does Peter Dutton go from here? Like, is his leadership actually being questioned now within the party?
His leadership is being questioned, but we're not going to see a leadership spill anytime soon. And the main reason for that is because the Liberals don't have anyone else that they can point to as the natural leader. There's no one else that they're getting behind. And so if you speak to a Liberal MP today, they're going to wait pretty much until the end of the year, until after the Voice referendum, and then make a decision then.
Hey, Amy, it's a little bit hard to interpret, this from just one vote in one electorate. How do you explain why the vote went this way? Because Lord knows the Liberal politicians couldn't.
I think the vote went this way because the old rules about politics no longer apply, and we learnt that at the last federal election. There is no such thing as a safe seat anymore. Voters don't tend to fall for the same sort of fear campaigns. They want actual answers and they want solutions. And we have seen a generational change. If you look at the ABS figures, millennials are now the biggest generation in Australia. We've taken over from the boomers, and millennials and Gen Ys, or whatever you want to call them, they are, Gen Zs as well, they are voting more progressively because they don't have houses, they don't have wealth, they have a completely different life that their parents had at the same time. They're educated, but they're falling back financially, and they want somebody who's going to care about the planet, who's going to care about the individual and actually offer solutions for that. And I don't think the Liberal Party has been doing that for quite some time.
I mean, it seems like the Liberals are really facing an existential crisis at the moment. How do they turn this all around? Can they?
I think it's going to be very difficult because the party room itself is pretty much held hostage by people who think that the answer is that you need to go further to the right to win back voters. And I think that most Australians want their party to sit somewhere in the middle. They keep talking about Liberal values, where there's small government, less regulation, caring about the individual, but we haven't actually seen a lot of that in the parliament. We've seen what the government is now calling the no-alition, where they just vote no to absolutely everything. And I don't think that's giving people a lot of confidence or a lot of hope that there's anything in the Liberal Party at the moment to vote for. So I think unless they actually start changing their strategy and really thinking about what it is that voters want, rather than culture wars and all of these other sort of right-wing topics that they're gripping onto, I don't think the Liberal Party will be able to recover from this in the near future.
Amy, with Peter Dutton taking responsibility for this, there's a chance that he's the problem, because he's the leader. So it's probably like makeover time for Dutton, If you were, his campaign staffer, how would you make Peter Dutton look cool again? Or ever, one time?
I mean, I'd probably get Taylor Swift's people on the phone and just be like, babes, how did you do it? How did you come back from the Kanye era? It'd probably be my first thing. Maybe do an eras tour. We can go back to Howard, Dutton. What was it that people liked about you then? What is it that people don't like about you now? And see if we can just kind of, you know, find some sort of middle ground. But I don't know if this is necessarily just a Peter Dutton problem. His issue is that he can't win Victoria. The Aston by-election proved that. He wasn't really popular in New South Wales. You can't win elections if you can't win the two most populous states, but it's a bigger issue than that. If you look at the electoral map now, the Liberals only hold 14 of the 79 city seats, and that is a huge issue because you cannot win the nation if you cannot win the cities.
So, in short, Tay-Tay is the answer. Amy Remeikis, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You know what? I think Peter Dutton, I think he's already cottoned on to the makeover situation. And you know what he's done to really change his image? He's put some glasses on.
Yeah.
That's what I noticed.
I think it's a funky nickname now.
Yeah. I think glasses are sexy.